was a very unusual night. So we had tickets to go to the rugby, and I went out with one of my buddies to go to the rugby, and we met up with some friends, and it was pouring rain. We got absolutely drenched. We couldn't get a bus. We ended up having to drive and park the car about 1 kilometre away from where we were meeting the guys. Well, when we got there, we were absolutely soaked. So we decided we'd skip the rugby and watch it from the pub instead.
I was out for a night out in Auckland with a girlfriend and a friend in Auckland, and my girlfriend decided she wanted to go dancing. We'd been at wineries all day, and next thing we were out at a place which was renowned for a good night out.
Later on that night, we went on to a place called Danny Doolan's, which is a famous spot right in the centre of Auckland. And I lost one of my buddies there, and I went to try to find him. And I ended up kind of going down the bar. When I went down the other end of the bar, I saw where Paige was sitting.
We were there, and this big tall man was standing at the end of the bar, and we looked, and about 5 times I think we made eye contact, and I said to my friend, geez, he's sort of all right. And she said, oh, well, why don't you go and speak to him? And I said, well, he can come and speak to me, and then he left, and I thought, well damn that.
I remember thinking, God, that's a lovely girl. I must find my mate Brett, and then I'm going to go back and say hello to Paige afterwards.
And then he left, and so I went to try and find him and couldn't find him, and came back and was all over Red Rover.
I went back down, found Brett, and then I said, I'm going to go back down and say hello to this girl. And I went down and met Paige, and then Brett came down as a wingman, and he offered to take one of Paige's friends off to dance, and we got talking.
I was totally taken with him, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. That's why we were very cautious initially, but no, I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
I was working in Wellington at the time, so I knew I was flying out the following evening or on Monday morning for work. So I said to Paige, would she like to go for dinner the following night? And I remember thinking, this is about 1 o'clock in the morning. Dinner is probably about 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow night. This is a bit eager, but she was really keen, and we hit it off from the start.
We had a lot against us in the early days because we're from other sides of the world, and he had plans to travel and I had my own plans, and so we took it really slow initially, but it was a real, from very, very early on, it was very obvious that it was right.
Kieran and Paige have come here today to pledge their life, their love and their hearts to one another. May your home be a place of love and harmony. Bless your wedding day and everybody who walks alongside you to your journey through life.
I, Kieran, take you, Paige, to be my wedded wife.
I, Paige, take you, Kieran, to be my wedded husband.
On this day, witnessed by our family and friends,
I give you my heart, my promise,
that I will walk with you, hand in hand,
wherever our journey leads us.
Living,
learning,
loving,
exploring, together forever.
By the power vested in me, in the name of the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit, I now pronounce you a husband and wife. It gives me a great honour to introduce to you for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Kieran and Paige Quinn. You may kiss your bride.
Look, welcome everybody. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I love the setting, and I think it's the beginning of a great night. And for us, who would have thought that we would be attending Paige's wedding in Ireland, and let alone any wedding in Ireland? It's very exciting for everyone here, but mostly Kieran and Paige, who are now, Mr. and Mrs. Quinn. What do you think about that?
For Kieran and Paige to meet in the special circumstances they did, both being away from home, and fall in love so quickly is fantastic. And I think you'll all agree with me, such a lady to meet such a gentleman. I've heard it being said already today, they're a perfect match.
Kieran, I first met you in New Zealand. I'd heard so much about this 6'5" Irishman that Paige had met, and she was pretty keen on him. Otherwise, she wouldn't have told me about him. It wasn't until they came over to Wagga, where my husband Trent and I went out for dinner with Paige and Kieran, that we knew he was the one. Kieran had said to Trent, "You'll have to come over to Ireland when we get married." A week later, he proposed to Paige at Mount Kosciuszko, and here we are today.
I first met Paige in 2015. Kieran and I were on a night out in Auckland, and he hadn't mentioned Paige at this stage. Out of the blue, we bumped into her in a local pub. From the first time I met her, I could see a twinkle in her eye and his. Little did I know what a loving relationship would develop, and that we would be here today celebrating such a happy, loving couple.
Such a nice feeling when you get a hug or you get a kiss at the end of the day, and it just makes you feel like everything's perfect regardless what had happened that day.
I think he's the most caring human on this planet. He's always thinking of me, that totally respects me. Yeah, I couldn't have got a nicer guy.